And as we are watching that gameplay, guys, again, we're just about to get into map number 1, which we're going to do right now. Again, you know what? For giggles, why not? Who knows what's going to happen? Put those Coinbase wallet usernames in chat, guys. You might be blessed with $100. And, well, Joewo looking to make a lot more than that today. $5,000 for each map. And who knows? This man in front of you could be the winner of map 1.
I think if you were to put together some sort of a prediction or wager, I think you'd be on a safe bet here trying to put something together for these guys because, yeah, they have been very consistent. And the biggest thing about it is when they get into position, when the circle is dead center like this towards prison, they could collect a ton of kills very, very, very quickly. So we'll see. A little bit of a stretch drop here, though, looking to make their way over towards Decon. And that may lead to an opportunity to get to a free buy station, but actually they're going to be contested on this drop. Weapons are nearby, so Joe will have the ability to fight, but there are definitely at least one other teammate that, or one other squad rather, that's going to be contesting them here on this eastern side of the map. How does Predators have a sniper rifle? What the heck?
Yeah, but really, let's be real. What would it be if it wasn't Breadman immediately killing people with a snipe to start off the map?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be Breadman.
And the thing about it is, it's not just how has he found a gold sniper rifle, but he's found it on top of the water tower. So it's just like, goodness, what else could you possibly want if you're Breadman in this position? Tough gunfights, though, especially running out of ammunition, and the cluster strike coming in will force him away. But that'll be fine. Looks like this building over towards Chem is actually going to be pretty free for them to use. So we'll see how the looting will go as we jump over to Swagg's POV, and they've already got a loadout drop to work with.
And that is going to be great. You get that loadout. Every single member of your team has that initial drop. Self-revive as well. If you can catch some teams out unaware who don't yet have a loadout, it makes those fights so much easier. Not only because you have your comfort guns with all the attachments you want, but you have those perks alongside it. So those can always be incredibly helpful here. But this is a team, we've consistently seen them in and around that prison area to start. No surprise that they're going to stick to that again. But as we take a look at M-Sage on 2 kills here already, but well, you got to be careful. Player flies around the back, but a nice collapse from the team to keep him up and ready as Aydan's team not too far away. But well, Aydan unfortunately not able to do a whole lot there as that was Swagg's team they just ran into.
And yeah, that's one of the teams that I'm most interested to see if there's going to be a playstyle change, because I think the biggest thing about their group qualification today was until the third lobby, they were finding tons of kills but kind of missing out on placements, largely due to the fact that they were having a tough time as soon as the redeploy was disabled, getting into full form. Everything else up until that point was more than comfortable. It was the same style that they played through yesterday, but the one thing they were unable to do was right around that 90-second mark before we get to the respawns being disabled, they were kind of softened up and weakened when it came down to what weapons and loadouts that they had. So that's where I'm going to be most curious when we get closer to that third circle to see if they're going to kind of slow things down and make sure they stay in full fighting form.
Swagg's team kind of just methodically mowing through Team Aydan, and I'm curious here. We have had a team elimination, so I don't know if it's their team, because at the end there we did see Swish taking out Miss Sweets, aka Danny. But wow, that's going to be a team out already. That's going to be a tough watch for the remainder of this map, knowing that you missed out on 5,000. But take a look here, Team Unrational. No kills yet for Smixy, but I'm sure some on their way. This is a team they're always going to be very clustered around each other, making sure that they get that support that teammates need. But now we swing over to Flank's team, and well, no kills just yet, but not a bad setup for them either.
And it looks like they're kind of spreading across the southern portion of the map, maybe not even just looking for information, but kind of again playing off of the can we control a central location and then use that as the ability to kill players as they rotate. That'll be interesting, I think, just to see if they're going to be able to kind of lock down that ground, and then will it provide them the ability to just get easy kills. Over to Huskerrs' position, though, they're actually rotating around the same area here at Nova 6. And as the next loadout comes through, it does look like the rotation is starting to be called for, looking to maybe put some pressure over towards the bottom side of prison.
And well, it was not actually Aydan's team, so any Aydan fans here, don't worry, they're still in the mix, but unfortunately was Team 5x5, which was the first team to be eliminated. So they will have to wait for map 2, but here's Huskerrs, a kill on your screen, and they know that there's at least one person, but probably multiple in that house ahead of them. They do have the edge of the circle right behind them, so at some point they're going to have to move, and this is actually a position that can get a little scary for these teams sometimes, because not only that, you do have someone outside the circle behind you on on the boat, but you can be caught in a really brutal rotation from that general area where there's not a lot of cover for you to work through.
Yeah, and as you start to get kind of picked apart in those like kind of more difficult locations to kind of finagle, it kind of makes you have to pay respect to, okay, we can't contest this area of the map right now. So we maybe have to rethink about where we want to rotate to, because you just don't want to be in this cycle of getting picked off, losing a player here, losing a player there, so on and so forth. So I don't know. I think it'll just be interesting to see if they're going to keep holding on to that same idea, or are they going to make a switch and try to rotate somewhere different and just kind of pay respect to the team that kind of has the advantage over them.
And that'll be a down onto Blast from Joewo's team. Breadman already at 5 kills, so a very nice start for them. So there's still 25 left in the lobby, waiting on that inevitable fire sale that'll be around the corner. And here's the thing, too. Not only is Picnic in a bounty that's pushing them quite aggressively, but they had a bounty onto Swagg. So they're going to have to be a bit careful here. IQ going for that revive while the redeploy comes in from Xenon. But a little scary of a situation there, especially if that is their bounty. And just like we say that, well, his teammate goes down. We see a nice shot from IQ onto that player out in the open, but a trade. Better than losing both your lives, but I think he would have been a little more happy to keep his teammate with him.
Still fine to fight, though. That's the biggest thing. And we're still in the early stages for the most part as the second circle is going to come to a close. It does look like a lot of the island is still in play as well, which is interesting, although it is starting to lean further and further north. But we'll find out if that's going to maybe cause any issues throughout the middle portion of the game. And the biggest thing is, even though we've lost one squad already, honestly speaking, it doesn't look like too many other squads are dealing with too many issues. Again, kind of talking like we did in the Group B, I mean, we're still dealing with 28-plus players alive at almost every single given moment. So I don't have to, you'd think that at a certain point that it's one player here or two players there that are kind of waiting for their respawn and everyone else is fine. So not a lot of forward pressure starting to be established by any particular team, but how about Swagg? 5 kills already, looking good for his team.
Yeah, they've actually been doing solid. I know Swish herself has about 4 kills. Tack that on with a 3 from Biffle and however many Booyah has, and they're in a good position. But what was interesting and of note for me as well, nice help from Swagg there in that kill, is that on Joewo's team, I think if I saw it right, Joewo had 5 kills with Breadman's 5, which means they're already at double digits between the two of them. And I say that, of course, Breadman, of course we go to him right as he gets the snipe into the kill, and he wants to go for that beautiful replay. Look at that connection, turn it into a kill. Nice job from Breadman. And of course, we go into a replay. We came to him, mind you, in the last 15 seconds with 6 kills. We go into a replay. We come out of it with 8 kills.
Yeah, it's just, he's so good. It just has to be so much fun. It'd be so much fun just being able to snipe people like he does on a regular basis. Gosh.
HMA in a little bit of a tricky position. I know that Sage just got down, but I think potentially flanked, but looks like HMA at least was able to recover, and she's done a really phenomenal job through both days for this team as well. As we swing over to IQ's team, still in a similar position, but oh, this spot, oh, and that's why makes me very nervous. You don't really have anywhere to back into, and they might be getting picked apart for it, but some nice shots. Pinkfy connecting, not able to get the down as Xenon falls, and he's gonna have to be a little bit careful here because those redeploys getting ever longer, and there's only 1:10 left before the redeploy closes entirely.
Yeah, and this is the moment where you have to start making calculated decisions of, do we continue to take aggressive gunfights? Do we want to make sure we've got ourselves fully kitted up before we even try to challenge new areas? Because honestly speaking, this third circle is going to have a lot of the island still in play, so the ability to kind of just finesse and work for placements is definitely available. And Aydan, who wants high ground locations, you could see that there was a threat deeper onto the rooftop and maybe also players behind them towards that sniper tower. So they are by no means comfortable yet as we get over to Swish's POV, who is by herself on the bottom side of the island.
Well, and here is Team Unrational, all of them alive, which is going to be crucial at this point. 30 seconds left. This is going to be the make or break moment for a lot of these teams. Who can get through the closure of redeploy with the team alive? Because again, numbers is going to get you the wins in the final stages of these maps. And those moments and those strategic decisions might just end up with $5,000 in your pocket. Swing over here is Scummin. Only 2 kills, but not the worst situation, and this is one of the reasons what you just saw with Scummin putting in that one plate, why Tempered is such a useful perk, because he is now fully plated up using only one, as opposed to what would be 2 out of 3 plates otherwise. Now Huskerrs in a bit of trouble, gets down, not full just yet. Scummin waiting to see if there's a push from the team that downed him. Callouts from Huskerrs helping on that, but the revive will come in from Smixy, so he should be alive and well.
And look where the circle's going to pull here, Katie. Without any other respawns available, everyone is going to be in a panic to get out of prison and into what is essentially just a dead-on open field. This is, I would say, as far as who's got the advantage at the moment, I love this right here, where we've got some high ground control. You've got the ability to look down onto players, find easy kills. That could lead to some massive implications towards total overall points if you can survive into the top 3. Knight has 7 individually. You have to know that Aydan is good for at least 5+, and Smith's got 6. Yeah, they're putting together one hell of a lobby, and with high ground control, you can only expect that number for individual kills is going to go up.
They're going to have to be careful, though, because keep in mind, especially where Knight was, Team Unrational and Swagg's team are all essentially in the exact same spot. So they might run into each other. I think you just saw Biffle kill Scummin. And, well, it's just the 2 of them. So they're going to have to be careful on this play. And, yeah, that final circle is going to cost a lot of teams. It's not in an ideal position. Granted, they have a lot of time with this circle closed to kind of stay where they are. But if you're Smixy, you got to be careful. That Scummin down, you still have 3 members of the team remaining for you. So it's not the worst spot. But you don't want to use up too many of these plates in the process of this. But I agree. I like this transition. Unfortunately, though, Unrational will be lost in the process, but they get the buyback on a Scummin.
Yeah, they're making this rotation around the outside, hoping to play from the fast side of the gas, which is just never going to allow you an opportunity to really fight against anybody. You're just hoping to get into the circle and maybe maintain a top 3 position, but it doesn't really look that good for it at the moment. Stim shots now have been completely expended, and you have to just rush on forward. And actually, the timing of this may work out okay. Player in front of them will be down by Smix, and there's an opportunity to collect this kill, maybe get some stim shots and get in. And, oh, at the last second, Smix is able to find a stim, and they'll stay alive as they look to rotate into the middle of the next circle.
What a beautiful play from Smixy. Flawless, gets the shots in the down in the storm, turns, has the eyes to find the stim, pick it up and attempt to get to safety. Unfortunately, gets picked off in the end, but that was a really beautiful play. And, well, now you're going to run into that team that has everyone alive. Aydan, get loud. Z-Smith with 11 kills. On top of that, you're sitting at 25 kills and the ×2 multiplier. Aydan's team, are we even surprised that they win map 1?
About like 25 kills plus, and to win was going to guarantee you no problems on the day, and that's exactly the metric that was matched. A 50-point game is good enough for first, and by a pretty healthy margin. And we were kind of talking about it, like if you're going to finish in the top 3 and still be the overall points winner each lobby, you need to collect like 30 kills and just miss out on like a 1v1 at the very end. That's the only way really that you're going to see teams in 2nd or 3rd still potentially be the top points earners. It's very rare that we see a team win the lobby, like get the actual Warzone victory, and then not win on points, largely because you have to feel like that team is going to be full force with either not. If you want to take the risk to pull out a scope and not have the ability to go AR SMG like the rest of the lobby, and you're still finding value with it, you know what? Good on you. Keep running it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
They ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, Joewo's team, they did have a really solid run in the prior map. Unfortunately, they weren't able to turn that into a win on the map itself, but there's a reason we're starting with Team Aydan, and well, it's because, again, guys, they've made $12,000 so far as a team in this 2-day tournament. They won map 1 of the finals. They are looking to win as many as they can. There is a chance for them to take home so much money today, and they look like they are on farm. The start of the day in the qualifiers was a little bit slow, but only for essentially 1 map, and then they were right back into it. And, well, unfortunately for Unrational, who tries to fly in the window, he was met at the receiving end of Aydan and Knight's barrels.
Just look how fast they move to take a risky drop, mind you, in towards prison block, and then still have the ability to get kills, get cash, get your loadout, although the strategic placement of this loadout is anything but convenient. It'll be fine. They'll still be able to grab it, but the idea of it was not fully executed on, but doesn't make a difference. It's going to be XM4-0 already, and already a couple of kills tallied. Well, I mean, look at this from the perspective of Flank. Like, in a comfortable spot largely, but they're dealing with green ground loots. So that's never great news. And okay, here, you want to complain about something. Breadman's not just getting kills sniping. He's sniping with pistols and getting kills. Are you kidding me?
That's, who was that on? Who did he down? Do we know?
Please tell me. Please tell
me. Chat, maybe you can do your homework or production. We need to know who Breadman just disrespected with that pistol. Because I'm not saying I'd lose full if that's how I got down, but I would not be happy about it.
Imagine it's the player that was just complaining about sniper rifles to get sniped by a pistol.
Don't do it like that.
How sick would that be? That would be so poetic in a way. Poetic's able to get it down, or Mutex, Poetics, what did I even just say? I just had a stroke. Mutex with it down, but isn't able to find the full kill, and the full cleanup actually comes from the player on the staircase. That is Sage, who quickly comes up to find 2 kills.
Oh no, we just got the news. That was Destroy who got down by Breadman with the pistol from the top tower.
Yikes.
Hey, it happens. Look, see, competitive Warzone players, they're just like us. Sometimes you just get taken out by a pistol on top of a water tower from like 300 feet away.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, doesn't feel fair, but I mean, again, this one could do it. Knight gets a little bit caught between looking for a thirst and then being forced into a gunfight. He will drop for the time being. Little battle on the outside towards Bio. Little high ground fight coming through. As this, I think, is actually Sage's perspective from a moment ago, maybe on a more of an advanced delay, as that was the full cleanup we saw from a moment ago. But the rest of the team is here, and it looks like this has been kind of the same play that we saw from yesterday for Joe's team. Just kind of get towards a safe area, get your weapons, and then work your way across the map strategically. It seems to be working out okay for him again.
Yeah, it is, and now Aydan, he is waiting on that revive. We have Miss Sweets on the screen. They did have a pretty solid opening, so we'll see if they can turn that into maybe a back-to-back performance. But here's another team that they're going to have to contend with, and a team that has done so well throughout this tournament so far. The wonderful Swish'em on your screen, and, well, this team trying to make an impact, do what they can. And again, no surprise, you're always going to see them in this top prison location. It is their favorite place to be.
They're really good at just knowing when their risks are not worth their possible rewards, right? Like, so many different moments that we've seen them be kind of caught between 2 different squads, and they just immediately say, get out, just don't even bother with this position anymore. But the other thing that I'm really kind of enjoying about this look is that they're putting pressure on both sides of the rooftop at once. Now, of course, it kind of keeps you vulnerable towards potentially getting picked apart like this, but it also, if you are able to find those kills, creates a sense of dominance over the top of prison blocks. So they unfortunately deal with the former of those 2 points, and it results in, I think it was Swish'em who has to kind of play her life for the redeploys to come through.
Oh no. Oh, Godspeed.
Here we go.
That is a down onto poor Dill. The down, and you convert it into the kill just like that. Not only is Breadman once again able to take control of one of these high points on the map. Don't do it to him, Breadman. Don't do it to him. Let him land, please. He picks up a bounty and cash in the process as well. So once again, back up on top of the map and just looking to continue those snipes. Oh, that is, they're, oh
dude.
No, Breadman, leave Queen alone, please. Oh no.
Have you seen those meme tages on TikTok where it's like, dude died at a hang gliding accident? That's all I can think of right now is Breadman just picking players out of the sky. Hey, barely missing any shots.
Well, imagine being the team that was shooting at her to get the down, and then there's just Breadman ruining your party.
Oh my gosh.
Like above that.
He's just chilling. And it's just like, there's none of his other teammates are really around him. They're down and kind of pushing through the line of sights that he's clearing. So, I mean, he's not by any means safe up at Water Tower. Just no one is contesting him. So, it's just a shooting gallery.
It's a shooting gallery, and well, for Mutex, only 1 kill for him right now, but this is a team we have not done a listen-in yet, and Astra listen-in at that. We know there's certainly chatty folks with the likes of Mutex and Destroy on the roster, so let's go ahead, turn up those headphones, have a listen to what the comms are with an Astra listen-in.
Yo, D, grab this.
Oh my god, what the fuck are they waiting for, man? I don't even get it, bro.
I'm watching if he pushes.
Just play it like this.
Over here.
That's all you shot us.
He's got one behind you. It's all good, boys. It's all good.
How the fuck did he know I was there?
Honestly, we'll just bully that shit. At least we know how to trade out in that area. Like, that was fun. Once I got a gun, it was fun.
Did I just caster curse them to death?
I think maybe we did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I mean, Katie, the biggest thing about this is we went from 9 to 7 very quickly here, and look at the number of players that are alive. There's only 17 players alive at the moment, so there are a lot of other individuals that are probably hanging on to their life right now. And this is one of those key moments to where, yeah, that's exactly the case. Smith is actually just laying prone, hoping he can stay alive for another 13 seconds. But the teams that are in full numbers, if you see this kill tally only being at 15 to 17 players, you should be moving very rapidly to put yourself in the best position possible to not just be able to hold on to high ground, but maybe even pick more of these players out of the sky as they continue to fall. This is the ability to really reap apart this lobby, knowing that there really aren't that many players that are going to have full loadouts as they continue to drop back in and try to get to fighting for them.
That is an excellent point as Smixy unfortunately falls. Keep in mind as well, soon that redeploy timer will start to tick down, but here's Unrational. He has found a lot of success, much like Breadman, with a sniper over these last 2 days. But, well, unfortunately, he's getting shot from the front and the back. Not much you can do to get away from that. Now, the rest of his team in Scummin and Huskerrs will have to survive here top prison until they can redeploy. But I agree with that, right? This is such a great time. If you're one of the teams who's survived until this point, to pick apart everyone flying in from the sky, get them when they're just landing, they don't have the guns they want, nor do they have those perks, the armor they need. It is a great moment to try and farm as many kills as you can. We swing over to Pinkify, no kills just yet, but one of the few teams still at least alive and well right now as we're hovering around 21 players in this lobby.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Even if you're not picking players off their parachutes, get UAVs, get weapons, and chase down red dots when you see players landing. That should be the freest gunfights you've ever seen in your life. And largely, it doesn't really feel like that's really been kind of capitalized on as we jump over to another team that's got a full 4, at least for now. And it looks like Slack has the weapons that he wants, but only is able to collect his first kill. And, okay, that's better. Nice long-range shots, gets the down and the finish. That's Zenon who will fall. And there's the call. Yep, the rest of the team has to be up in that area. And honestly speaking, there's no need to go chasing down too much more because you're in a pretty good spot using one of the high ground buildings as the circle will continue to pull further north.
We did know that at least one of the teams eliminated alongside what we saw from Mutex was Swagg's team was eliminated as well. Now someone else has, considering we're at 6 remaining teams, but here's Unrational. He knows one's in that sniper tower, just waiting for this player to make the mistake of hovering for just a second too long. But in the meantime, Scummin able to take out Knight on Aydan's team, so a good moment to maybe prevent them from doing that back-to-back streak. And, well, he connects, but somehow only breaks the armor. I'd be a little frustrated with that shot if I were him.
Yeah, the tough thing about that is just it's hard to finish a kill, even if you get the down up there. Obviously, at this point in time, with how the lobby has formed, or I guess been deforming with a lot of players getting dropped, that you don't expect a lot of those players up top that are landing in to have any sort of self-revive. But regardless of that, it is difficult to confirm kills towards a player that's sitting in the top side of the tower. And we are also learning that that 7th place team will be Breadman squad. So a lot of heavy hitting squads out with Breadman's team down, Swagg's team down. It does kind of open up an opportunity for one of those, maybe, I won't say Cinderella teams, but one of those teams that maybe put together huge lobbies routinely to possibly sneak away a win and get 5K here.
Well, hey, on the bright side, for that player who was upset about the sniping, he's still in this map, so he doesn't have to worry about Breadman anymore. So, you know, there's silver lining to everything.
I mean, Gary's still sniping, so it's not, the threat's not over yet, but...
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Gary with a sniper is very dangerous. But now, 5x5 on your screen. Her team alive and relatively stable here. They will have to push toward dead center in prison. And this is actually kind of, might potentially end up being one of the craziest endings we've seen. She does have a triple threat on her, she'll have to be careful of. But within having that prison final circle, there's so many levels to prison where you're going to find these people.
Yeah, and Sally right here is in an unrecoverable position as she's dealing with a couple of people shooting at her. No stim shots either, and that was actually Lovely who was able to collect a kill. Last one alive for her team. 4 individual eliminations. We saw Slacked only having 1 or maybe 2 by the end of that, so you have to feel like this would need to be a pretty clean finish to possibly get involved, but only being the last one left alive and still needing to rotate into prison, you don't feel great about our chances of putting together a big lobby. And maybe our best look is actually 5x5's team, who is on the interior of prison and still has 3 players alive in what is only a 10-player total lobby to finish off.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is a lot of the teams that we knew had really high-scoring games are dead fairly early on. They will get those multipliers, but not ones that are very substantial. So for some of these teams, you could see a scenario at the very end game of this map where maybe someone who doesn't come in first ends up winning. We'll have to wait and see. Unfortunately, 5x5 pushed by someone she wasn't necessarily expecting. We go back to Lovely's, and she does have 5 kills, but, well, all she has is herself to stay alive. And now Huskerrs has fallen, but Unrational's team in a pretty decent position here. Not only do they have 3 alive, but look at where that circle is pulling.
Yeah, this is absolutely the perfect spot for Unrational to be. You've got teammates up top that are waiting to catch anyone late rotating out of gas, but Unrational can also just watch to see players come out of windows and essentially just get free picks. In the picture-in-picture, though, I think that's Lovely's point of view. Yeah, she's able to actually find it down and confirm a kill. A little bit of some reaping going on inside the prison block still, even though the gas is still in play. And, well, you can see Smixy's going to actually read where the last remaining players largely are. They're still floating in. And you would have to assume that for Scummin and Smixy, they should be able to win this lobby, considering that 2 of the other 3 remaining players are floating in with essentially nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, these are going to be the free kills you have to be able to hit. She gets the armor, can't blue it, knows where they have to be, though, does have Scummin alongside her. Unrational will eventually end up falling. Unfortunately, his place was favorable until it went back toward that prison finish. And now Smixy just trying to get to the ground, does have the stims, but no plates. And I don't think Scummin does either, as he's in a gunfight. So potentially a tricky position. She's just trying to meet up with him, though, as they go for the shots. They find the player. They're able to get one. And now a 2v2 to finish off map number 2. Smixy sitting at 6 kills, and, well, with 5x5 up on the roof, this circle poll could end up determining who comes out on top.
The thing about it, though, is that 5x5 and her teammate that dropped in, there doesn't look like there's any loot up top for them to freely get new weapons or armor plates. So as much as they're in the high ground position, the ability to win this gunfight from the low ground is definitely still in play, considering that you're fully plated and you have the weapons of choice.
Well, and here's the thing, especially now 5x5, she's able to get one on the down, gets downed herself, though, and it's simply not enough. And that is why in situations like this, the high ground sometimes does not work for you. If you have to pull a shoot, if you have to jump down from the sky, that means that the likes of Smixy, the likes of Scummin, all they have to do is look up and mow you down. And that's exactly what that team Unrational versus team 5x5, look at that. They had the same amount of kills, and it was Unrational's team able to cobble together the final kills, win that 2v2 gunfight just outside of prison, which gave them the multiplier they needed to eke out that map to win. You could see for a brief moment there before we cut away at 5x5, they knew in that moment the heartbreak of getting second place and coming just shy, regardless of they had an incredible game. But congratulations where congratulations is due, and that goes all to team Unrational joining team Aydan, and both of these teams winning $5,000 for maps 1 and 2. Now, if you're a 5x5 fan, guys, there's still 3 more maps to go. We have already seen multiple times over that they know how to win a map and close it out, and I'm sure they'll have more than enough opportunity